Ngā mihi o te wā, and welcome to my Intel 8006.3 ki te hoi, call to action. Um, so I'll start in the beginning and sort of break down as we go. I I did find out along the way what my particular leadership philosophy might look like, and I I I had a look first, and definitely came up with the servant philosophy around things, that the servant leader is a servant first, and yeah, I totally agreed with that. And then it talked about um, sort of moving the obstacles, which is right, and you're sort of leading off when you're a servant, and you're basically handing that over to others as well. Inspirement, void of ego. I like that. So I definitely found that a long way, but I make the comment too that at the same time it was really hard to sort of classify yourself as one sort of leading philosophy. Like, you're more than that as well. I found myself looking into the collaborative as well. Sort of, yeah, and that makes sense. That like, I could see that, I'd like to be involved in that as well. So I thought, yeah, the collaborative would suit me, and those were the two. I just sort of like to make note that when I looked at the indigenous, it sort of reminded me of my people, my iwi in the far north of the area of the coal, and that's a really great example of indigenous leadership. So I'm just gonna sort of make that note. Um, I talked about and I identified the challenge, the need, and the change, and I thought that in particular my leaders, sorry, my learners, that the change would be around the learners, the teachers, the senior leadership team, and the principal, sort of all under the same kurawai, believing believing in the school's whakatauki, the values of the school, and these are the reasons why, because the school at times can feel quite fragmented. So I just thought that would be really the whole essence of the why, and the need for change, and the challenge, that obviously the challenge to get there, along the way, to sort of make those particular the changes, so that it could come together as a collective, really, and the challenges to get to that point, and I'll talk a little bit further as we go. Um, what I sort of did find out along the way in this particular space is that in the beginning, there was two sort of sides to how I was having a look at things. One was talking about um, mainly getting our value system in place in the school first, and then the second part of that was coming in and localizing the curriculum. And I make point there, you know, that the New Zealand curriculum describes the learning all young people should experience, no matter what school or kura they go to, and the progress and expectations associated with this learning. That provides the framework for schools and kura to use their local curriculum design. And I like that. And for us, it was around, strengthening those ties back into our community. Having a look at the manureotanga, because there's a lot of gold in that for our learners. our teachers, our senior management, and our principal. And it's sad that I sort of label it like that because it feels sort of fragmented. The second thing was sort of bringing the community into the school, and that's localizing the curriculum, bringing all that gold from our community to share in different subjects, not just Te Reo Māori as my curriculum chosen subject, but that's everyone. That's inclusive of everyone, and that's the whole essence about localizing that curriculum to bring everyone in to look at every particular subject and how that can be used. So even to the point, kaumātua queer, obviously, that kind of engagement, not just limited to them, but to that whole that whole holistic approach to really utilize the community for the well-being of our learners, and that's really what the goal is. So along the way, it talked about how I've collaborated with others, including the feedback, from the SLT or one particular member, and I sort of make note as well with this with the recording is that I engage with the head of the faculty as well, or the HOD, and I found with the SLT that that individual is very, very supportive, and the reason behind that, or the why behind that, is because that individual has come from an area, um, like the same likeness, and had high percentage Maori and Pacific students in that particular school as well. So the individual has an understanding about the benefits, and that's probably the reason why the why not as well on a critical evaluation would actually be, while that individual's within a new senior management team as well, which will make things hard. So it's around those particular things with a new principal as well. But however, the why not behind it is around, well, if we don't, or if that individual as a senior management doesn't see that, then the benefits for all, as the collaborative, I think, sort of won't come together, and that'll be where the real sort of the crossroad would lie for me, no doubt. So I see from that point of view that for that particular individual, it will definitely be a win-win situation, where I felt with my head of the department, or the head of the faculty, that individual really challenged it, in a way of that individual having an understanding, been in the school a lot longer, 8 years, has an understand has been there before, in a way that that the individual knows that it could be a real hard task. I suppose this is the why not. It'll be the real hard task for that to be put over the line, and been there, done that before, and I think there was a bit of that as well there. So there was others that I'd engaged with just through conversation, other colleagues, and they felt the same way, that what was the point in doing it, that kind of thing. So that was really interesting to find out how those others were feeling about that, and I felt with this particular member that, or this particular person in the faculty, that it was sort of like sit on the fence kind of thing, and sort of wait to see what happens, and but at the same time waiting for that particular SLT member to take a hold and actually see that engagement come from that particular individual. So it sort of gave me that kind of a sense after I made contact and discussed it a little bit further with both of them. Yeah, I suppose that the lead side of things for me is around um lines of really, well, when I looked at it, and what we've actually got at the moment was really the lines of communication, and building those trusts. You're really building the trust between who we have there as a new principal, who we have there as the current SLT, and the staff. And maybe the lead side of the things for me would be to have a look about maybe starting a pilot kind of program first, um, sort of within my particular space, and trialing that over first. I didn't in particular see this happening like in a 6 month period of anything like that. The reality sort of telling me was, hey, it would take a lot longer. Like I sort of put a 12-month sort of period on that, because there has to be a lot of buy-in. But I felt at the same time, if I could show on a smaller scale, especially to the principal, the SLT members, that it could be achieved, then that would be my medium, of my vehicle, of my lead, sort of to take them into that space. And sort of what I was looking at as well, and obviously we talked about what would the impact be on the learners, your community, and the social justice side of things. I think with the learners, it's building a new culture within the school, which is exciting, using the localized curriculum, or localizing the curriculum. Sorry, but I know with our particular school, I would like to get the values and that in place as well, so we have that culture. But this is adding on, but still the overall need, or the overall need for change. The project itself would be localizing and strengthening the curriculum. So to me, it's about building that culture, the belief, the pride, and the networks within the school, within our learners. Not only that, their engagement with the community, and that's huge, and bringing the community into the learning space as well, because there's a lot of gold out there in the community. But that would be like sort of those two particular elements of engagement, because that's got to be a win-win situation. The last piece that I take from it, um, it came from the William Colenso College, and they make note of this in particular when it came to the social justice side of things. Most of our learners fall into the priority category as set by the government. They need and deserve to be at a school with excellent teachers and leaders who have their well-being and achievement at the centre of all that happens in the school. They need leaders and teachers who advocate for them and challenge deficit thinking, who work collaboratively with learners, other staff, and community, who use evidence to inform their practice, who are consistently reviewing the process and structures in the school. All of these actions allow the school to be responsive, which enables the development of strategies to address the need for social justice and equality, for our learners. And I think that's the bottom line, around the social justice element of what I would be trying to do, obviously, on a wider scale within the school. So to me, that was really, the whole thing about addressing those three elements, with our learners, or with my learners, with the community, and having a look at the social justice element or impact of what that could really look like. Kia ora mai tātou. Thank you.